that are in place are pretty good. I appreciate that if a building is burning, we have people that come and put it out.
That is true. I agree with that for sure. And I agree with what you're saying about value as well, as far as that's what I think is changing. It's not the value of the thing, it's the people. So in the United States right now, if you look at silver price or gold price, it doesn't matter what you're looking at. Gold is holy shit. Oh my God, gold is $5,522. It went up $100 at the opening.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah, it's going up like
Okay,
crazy.
silver had to have gone up, dude. This is insane. It's silver. Oh my God, it's $120 an ounce. That's beautiful. Not good. Actually, it's not really good. So the value in America of that ounce has jumped up tremendously in the last couple weeks. But even over the last night, it's $5 to $6. Some people would even say $10, but not around the world. The value of only the dollar went up that much for gold. The UN, it's not costing them $10 more today. That's the problem. So that's where I think the value where we're losing
Silver
everything.
went up 50% in a month.
Dude, I was watching it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it went from like $60 to $110 or $105 within a month.
It's doubled in
Yeah.
3 months. Yeah, it went from like 70 to 105 in a month or something.
So I go down and I get gold out of the ground, as far as down in the river, in the Yuba River in California. And I haven't done it for years. I'm not like saying that I got all kinds of gold or anything, but I kept every bit of scrap of fucking flake, powder, everything that I ever got out of the ground, right? And I was sitting on some money or some gold or anything. Holy fuck, dude, this is insane. I almost wish I would have understood to go get more, or go try and get more silver or more gold or anything. This is absolutely insane what's happening right now. And that only means to me, it solidifies the whole idea that the system is crashing. It's just like what happened to Spain, just like what happened to Rome, just like what happened to France and England with the pound, with the shekel, or not the shekel, the franc. I think that's what's happening right now. The dollar is falling.
And ammunition obviously is going to go up in price too, because as much as all those precious metals are expensive, you take one little piece of lead and you can
That's
take a
right.
lot of those precious metals, so
You always protect the non-ferrous metals with the ferrous metals. That's for sure. Always got to have the lead to protect the gold and silver and titanium and all the other shit. I mean, fuck, I wonder what copper is. Holy crap. I bet you. Oh, I know there's a lot of people that are sitting on. Oh my God, dude. That's absolutely insane. It's $6.50 on a pound. Can you imagine if so? Silver was $6 an ounce in the 90s. Maybe $8 an ounce, but $6 an ounce in the 90s, and they were through the 2000s. It probably went up to maybe $10 an ounce, and they were building all of our electronics, all of the ICs, all the integrated circuits, all the capacitors, all the batteries with silver in the flux of the. I'm sorry, not in the flux, in the solder that they were soldering all these parts together is silver. They had to have a certain amount, and now it's 20 times the price. Can you imagine what things are going to start costing here real soon when they have to incorporate this? The gold, the silver price, the copper price, everything's more than doubled.
it's crazy too, because they just are like, they're changing those industries, like soldering and everything is going to like Zoom lock fittings. I work in the AC industry. That they're like trying to push compression fittings as well instead, because we braze the pipes together with silver. Yeah.
Yep. You're talking about in the um, like water pipes and stuff like that, right? Or what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's all. Yeah, it's already all PEX tubing and
Okay,
and
yep.
compression fish. Yeah, they're like trying to get rid of all that stuff.
And let me ask you this: would you personally, as being somebody that deals with that, would you want that stuff in your house? Is that what
The
you would
pe-
want to
the
go
PEX
to your
pipe seems to be okay, but yeah, I'd prefer because I know of the longevity of copper. You know what I mean? I
right?
would prefer that. I
Yeah,
don't know. We don't know what the future holds for PEX pipe. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, and you. I'm not sure exactly how this would be, but wouldn't it be easier to fix? Not in every scenario, but most of the scenarios, wouldn't it be easier to fix copper than it would be to fix that one pipe that has all the junctions, or has the junctions only when they split it, or
Yeah,
not?
that I'm not exact. You know, I wouldn't. It's pretty easy to work with that PEX pipe and stuff. But I think
Uh,
that they make things, you know, to fail, so it keeps people work. Like it's, I don't know, it's kind of crazy,
oh, you're
you know, what they
oh
do.
no, you're right. They do make things to fail. Look at your cars. Look at any electronics. Everything's made to fail. Everything.
It's like you have these two categories. You have efficiency and you have reliability, and you can't like match those for some reason. They won't match reliability and efficiency. You have to like give up reliability for efficiency. You have to give up efficiency for reliability. You know, it's weird.
Well, because we're not in the club. In any discipline of any science, as far as electronics, any type of panes of glass, any construction or anything, if you're willing to pay the millions and millions of dollars, they can do things that you'll never even, or they can provide you things that you'll never even see on the civilian market, I guess is what it would be called. Um, I just think
I
it's
wonder
amazing.
if money goes away though, if that would, you know, if efficiency, you know, I don't know how they would do it, but yeah, I could see money just going away in society.
I almost hope it does, but the ramifications and the atmosphere or the world we would live in from that, I'm not sure how it would work, so it scares me to death. But
It
still,
would
I
be
don't.
different. It would definitely be a different world for sure. People would still do things, but you just wouldn't have like all the conveniences that you have today for sure.
And I am under the impression that the reason we have money is to stop me and you, or not me and you per se, but us people from killing each other because my wealth or my value of time is not measured the same as your value of time, so that if I'm a welder, or I'm a logger, or I'm a doctor, people don't look at it like, oh, well, you could just give me a couple pieces of wood and I'll work on your heart, or maybe just give me a couple strawberries and yeah, I'll come over and fix your plumbing. It has to be regulated to where everybody's is not only agreeable, but it's fair, as fair can be, with inside of a monetary system of our value of time. Because that's what I think happened as far as why people agreed to do this. Otherwise, you're right, we shouldn't need money. I mean,
It's like a
money.
made up thing. All that stuff was given to them by, you know, whatever, if you want to call it the universe, you know, the creator, whatever, you know what I mean? So it's not even like you have claim to own that wood or anything, you know, you have claim to the
Exactly.
processing that you did to it, sure, but in
Yep.
reality, we're just really sharing all of this
Even my
stuff.
land, even the land that I own, that I think I own, that I pay taxes on, it's not mine. So, I mean, there's
Yeah,
no
don't pay
how
your
does that
taxes, find out how quick it's not yours.
exactly. And even to that effect, it's not theirs. It's not that we are
Exactly,
a
yeah.
we are a finite fucking experience on this plane of existence, and anybody that holds any uh, actual tangible control over anything, it's only going to last very very short period in actuality. I don't own anything. I don't. I think I like to think I do, but I really don't.
You will own nothing and be happy.
Oh, Klaus. Yes, he will eat the bugs. That's right. We live in a city, 15-minute city, and we will tell you what you think.
There's something afoot for sure. Like Left Lane, wouldn't you agree? There's something afoot when you see gold going up like that, like crazy, silver going up like that. What do you think those? Do you think it's just bad political moves like tariffs causing that, or like what do you suppose that would be?
I don't think I have access to all the information that I would need to make a determination. It would just be a wild guess on my part.
Yeah, true. I hear you. I hear you on that, brother. It is kind of like speculation.
Oh, for sure. Yep. I just think that I see the connection of uh, the first domino that does whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, I just think I see it, but I don't know
I
all
think I think individuals, especially Americans, should recognize and be aware that if your rights are being encroached, if they're trying to ease in on your constitutional rights, they're irrevocable. They can't. That's not something the government can do. We have the Second Amendment that was made for you to protect yourself against a tyrannical government, and I think that I don't think the unity is there, but I think the citizens should come together and stand up against it. But I don't know if we could ever do that.
I think you're right, but I think the problem is that on both sides, whether you think you need a gun or whether you think people should own a gun, um, I'll be honest with you. I think people need a gun. Most people need a gun in this world. Not everybody, but when they think about somebody else, whether it's a fantasy thought or whether they're just thinking of the other side, they don't want them to have the gun, so they don't want to give that right to them. Whereas it's already been given to us by the Bill of Rights or this, like you said, the Second Amendment, the Constitution. We have those rights, and like you said, if they start taking away these things, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. The rest of the rules, the rest of the laws won't matter if they can just take whatever they want and throw it away. You have to recognize, like you were saying, you have to.
Yeah, there is a group that could definitely do it. That could militarize. But what's happening, and it's where we get the unalienable rights from, and it's from God. So it would have to be the church, and we have a separation of church and state for a specific reason. But the church expands across like the nation and across the world, and if that there wasn't so much division there, that would be the force that could overcome, if the states try to, take away some of those constitutional rights. But I know a lot of people are against the church, and the church, it has a lot of issues as well. So
And
I
I'm
do
not.
see.
I'm not
Go
against
ahead.
the church, but what would the church do?
Well, if the church is a body of people rather than, like we just say, a specific building down the street, it's a body of people with similar values. And those values would be that we have unalienable rights that, the government, tyrannical government can't come against. Then the church at that point would get together, all of us as individuals of states. We would separate ourselves from that state and give our allegiance to the church and then have the church take it back over, essentially.
Oh, how would that? I mean, that's I don't understand. We're talking about if it come down to civil war, the church is not going to have anything to do with the mental process of having to fight against a tyrannical government and taking over your country that's being taken over by tyrants. I don't know. I don't. I mean, the combat is going to be the thing. It's not going to be the kindness and hope God protects you. It's going to be shooting people and getting shot, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would take the church, militarizing and actually in using force, under, God's, command of what force to be used. But what I'm saying is like that would be people would basically separate themselves to that. They would say, okay, my allegiance is with the church, and then others would say my allegiance is with the state, and that would be your civil war there. But I don't think it's possible with the way the church is, handled, and the way. And I think the states have done a good job to make the churches look silly and make the churches just like this, non-exist. Doesn't really. It's not involved in much. You know what I mean? Like marriage is done by the state. It's not even a church. It should be in the church, so that separation of church and state, they did it in an unconstitutional way to the point that now, yeah, it makes it very difficult for us to ever even use our Second Amendment right, because what is the thing that's going to bind us together? And we say it's the rights, it's the unalienable rights, and you have to remember where those came from.
Well, the freedoms, I don't think it necessarily has to come from the Bible. I mean, I understand that you do, and I don't. I just think it's just humanity, and we're established, to have a free people, out from under the rule of like the British monarchy type thing, that we could all live free and have a governing body that would represent us and do things that would make it a better place, take care of us, defend against invasion, things like that. But the body, we are the United States. The citizens are the United States, and I think I don't know. I look at the tyrannical situation where the government's coming in and ignoring, like that dude that pushed that woman down that killed Purdy. That dude needed his block knocked off. You don't push a woman down like that. That's not how it works
I think
in
that was a
America.
woman. I would think that was a woman.
Yeah, there was a woman that office that agent pushed down on the sidewalk.
No, no, no.
That's
I'm
who.
saying I think that was a woman. Wasn't it?
Uh-uh. No, the agent shoved that woman down on the sidewalk, and
And then
then
shot the guy that came
pretty
and picked her up.
and pretty stood up to him, and he maced him, and then 7 of them got on top of him.
Yep.
Yeah, but pretty had a freaking grind to axe. I don't know if you've seen the video from 11 days ago.
Yeah, no,
The one over there.
that's legit. He got some ribs broken in that, but just that situation right there, he did what a man's supposed to do. If he sees a man shove a woman down, he should stand up to him, and that's what he did, and that's what got him killed.
And a lot of
Wait
people
a minute. I thought men and women were the same now.
Yeah, right. I can't treat a woman like she's a woman. I have to expect she might be a man.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue. That's aggravates a piss out of me. The feminist movement say that we don't need a man, but they still want the door held for them. But they want to be put on a pedestal equal, and it's just not. I mean, there are things about men that are men and things that are about women that are women, just naturally. And
How dare you?
due respect to each side. Due respect to each side. But
Yeah.
it just ain't the same.
But it's kind of crazy when they talk to those like feminists, those staunch feminists on the whatever podcast. I see it sometimes. Then they ask them what kind of man they're looking for. They're looking for like a conservative, man that takes control in the relationship. That so they speak one thing, but then when they actually want to live their life a certain way, they look for a different thing.
Oh, I had a bookkeeper. She was that feminist one, and she would talk to her husband, bossy, and be kind of ugly to him. I'm like, you shouldn't talk to him like that. She said, I'm going to take care of him. I've looked for that kind of man a long time, or something like that. She looked for a man that would obey, and he was whipped, and that's what she wanted, a whipped man. And at the end of the day, what do you got?
Yeah, yeah, that's a rough situation there.
And how could you as a man live that way? I'm not saying you, but how could a man put themselves in that position? I don't know. I don't understand it. That they would be all, oh yeah, I'll do whatever you say. I'll let you scream and yell at me and tell me what I have to do. It doesn't make any sense.
It's dangerous. Yeah, it's a good way to collapse a society for sure.
Yep.
I don't know, but that look at that confrontation right there. Should I just post it?
Look at that confrontation, god damn it. How dare you take my picture? I'm gonna kill you. Is that what you're talking about? Gotta be. Gotta be. Uh action, the what we do as a society because of this is the same whether it's fake or not. And that's what they're trying, what I believe is happening with these types of things. They're eliciting a reaction. They're eliciting the reaction for the Hegelian dialectic, the problem reaction solution. They already have the solution. They need us to actually see the reaction. They need to elicit the reaction so that they can show you the problem. It's all backwards as far as the way that it should be. But if they can get us to, whether it's true or not, to get mad or to start calling for, people to take away guns or not, everybody should have a gun, whatever it is, the same reaction is elicited, whether this stuff is fake or not.
But yeah, so look at this. Did you see this video in the left lane from about 11 to 12 days ago? Same guy.
Confronting that cop? Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
he spit. No, he
he
spit at
kicked
the. Yeah, he
kicked
spit
the
at.
car
First
as
he
it was
spit.
driving off, and
No, first he spit at the cops. He
You guys
screamed at
know
them, spit at them, and then kicked. Then he kicked and broke the tail light.
you guys know the problem though, right? Because a long time ago we had empires ran by emperors, and then we had kingdoms ran by kings, and now we have countries and they're ran by
Dictators
cunts.
or cabals, whatever you want to call it.
It was weird that ICE is in many different countries. I mean, states. I mean, I seen there's ICE here in Texas. Yet the only place protesting was Minneapolis.
No, they were protesting in Washington. They were protesting in Portland, Oregon. They were protesting in, I think, I don't know if they were in LA, but they were protesting all over. It wasn't just Minneapolis. As far as where they were going in, ICE was going in from their what do you want to call it, a hotel or their base station that they were coming out of to go grab everybody in each city. There were people protesting everywhere around those places, Washington, Oregon, and Minneapolis.
New York City as well.
There you go, New York. There's a couple. I didn't look in to see exactly what it was, which
Yeah,
cities. But
highly immigrant clustered areas, maybe
yeah, well, they call them. Yeah, I guess it would be called that.
sanctuary cities.
Sanctuary. There it is. Yep, sanctuary cities. Yeah, that's it. And just like that other guy was saying, they almost have to do this. I mean, I don't know any other way that they can do this, not to kill people. I'm not saying they should go out and kill American citizens that just get in their way or spit on them even. I don't care if they spit on them, kick their car 1,000 times. You don't shoot somebody in the back of the head or in the back, and then all your buddies or one of your buddies unload 10 rounds into them. It doesn't make any sense. They disarmed him. But
I mean, but they didn't. They didn't. I mean, of course, I don't know if you've seen. There's a video that actually shows what happens. That as the guy pulls out the gun, his gun takes out his gun. I mean, first of all, they called gun, right? That's why the other guy pulled out his gun, right? One of the officers, the other officer, the one that actually shot him.
right,
When he
yeah.
takes, when the one officer, like the one that called gun, takes out the gun, doesn't say anything, but the gun misfires.
Okay.
So that's why. That's when then once they hear a shot, their reaction is what
To shoot.
exactly. So
Take care of whatever. No, I'm not saying that they.
it was
I know the
for me.
reaction.
It's a tragic accident, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for, but I mean, of course, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that could have happened before that for it to be avoided. One is probably don't confront cops with a gun in your in your waist.
Well, then you wouldn't be able to own a gun then that would be the law. You would have to get rid of the Second Amendment to not be able to have a gun and be in the presence of a law officer.
Not that I'm saying go confront a cop. Like don't buck up to him with a gun in your hip.
Yeah, and
I
that's
don't
where
I don't
I
think that's a good idea.
no
So buck
no
up to him without the gun on your hip. So he's got a gun on his hip.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, what I'm saying, if you're gonna buck up to a cop and they see a gun, they're gonna definitely think you as a big threat.
right, but
Would you think that?
they don't have the right to shoot you is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what your threat is. If you don't have that gun in your hand, you're not pointing it, you don't have possession it or control of that gun. That's why we have the Second Amendment law
Yeah,
of
but if a cop
right.
sees a gun, they're gonna say gun, gun, gun. What they're all gonna pull out the gun. Now the gun misfired. That's the only reason why he got shot. I
I can
doubt
go along
that.
with that. I can go along with that for sure. I
No,
don't.
that gun did, but the gun didn't misfire. They've analyzed that to death, frame by frame by
No,
frame. That gun never fired.
And
there's
with
a
all
video that shows the gun misfire. Let me see if I can find it.
of that said, with them shooting this guy, with all of that, I still am under the impression that there has to be something done about the illegal immigrants in this country. I'm,
100%.
I'm there has to be something done about it. I don't know how it gets fixed because the actual thing, the metric that would have to be done to take everybody who's an illegal immigrant, take them out of the country, allow them to start getting their visas or to try and become a U.S. citizen, it would decimate under my impression. I'm not saying it definitely would,
I
but it
think
would decimate the system we have, and I don't
the,
know how we can deal with that.
the issue is that the only reason why you see the protest is because there's a Republican and the other people don't like it when there's a Republican, right? They're the radical right.
where it looked like Egyptian cuffs, like golden cuffs, probably like 100% gold. And I was trying to get it sold, and for whatever reason, the pawn shop was like, "Yeah, like we ain't buying gold."
And that now,
I could send you a video on that, um, if you really want to know. But yeah, like a lot of these gold dealers and stuff, like every day they constantly have to go to the refinery and sell off, whatever they're taking in, in a large percent, because it's too much for them to risk. I'll send you a video on it.
so if I go to take my sterling silver or my, they call it junk silver, but the 80% silver, some percent nickel and stuff like that, like pre 72 coins, dimes, nickels, or dimes, quarters, and half dollars, they are not taking them as far as the um, not the smelters. I mean, the smelters aren't taking them too, but like the pawn shops, like the silver dealers, like the jewelry dealers, they're not taking them like exchange like they were before. Like you could take in a silver plate or whatever. They'd check what the plating or whatever the consistencies of it, the 999, and they would give you whatever the weight of it was. They won't do that now today. They told me that if I take in my coins, their smelters won't take it, or they aren't being able to sell that stuff. They will only take your
Back up right
point
now
nine
for,
nine.
for refineries.
Is that
Refineries are backed up right now, which is
Yeah.
why I said
oh
yesterday it's a good business idea if anyone's looking to start a business to get into silver and gold refining. But I posted the video there in chat
like
line if you're interested.
Yeah, I'll click on it.
is that a recent thing that they're like now not buying it because of like the high prices, or is it just
Well,
because
it's
they
not
have
that they're
such a
not buying it.
backlog?
They're very like stringent on how much they're taking in.
Of each value of it, the 0.99 troy ounces, which it's coming from, which mint, or if it's bar that is certified stamped, they'll take that stuff all day long. But if it's not, yeah.
So they're concerned about fraud and like fake shit and stuff then coming in.
Both
No.
that and both that they have to deal with it. They have to melt it down, or they have to do something. They have to physically.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you gotta take out the jewels and take the watch mechanics out of the watch. Okay, I got you.
Or out of the coins, because they take that junk coin silver. I know they say, oh, it's illegal to destroy a coin of American silver or dollar bills. No, it's not. They take that stuff all the time from pawn shops, from coin dealers, of the junk silver that's pre-72, and they send it off to be melted, and they separate that silver from the junk.
Interesting.
They use
The
the Cupel
dross.
for that, the bone, like a shot glass made out of bone, basically for small samples to purify.
A crucible.
Yeah, so basically,
No.
they have so much surplus of gold, right? Bullion, like official bullion, that they don't want the other trash gold. Not that they can't refine it, right? But
It's just
the
not
fact
worth
that they
the
have to
extra
refine
time.
it,
Yeah.
rather than embossing and all that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I know a guy right now sitting on over $1 million of raw silver, and he's got nowhere to take it to refine it because they're so fucking backed up right now.
The problem is what you have to do it. The borax, the fucking all the alum and stuff like that you need to separate the metallurgy.
Nitric acid, lye,
Yep. There you go.
sodium, and then there was another one, sugar. Actually, sugar is another refining agent. Actually,
That all sounds like stuff you can get like over the counter.
Yeah, but it's not a little bit. I mean, well, no, that stuff is there too, but you still need to have the borax. You still need to have the alum, and you have to have it refined enough. It doesn't have to be 99% pure, but you have to have it over 75% pure of boron, or borax. I'm sorry, not boron, borax and alum. Whenever you're doing smelting, it's the only way to do
Is that
it.
not the borax? Is that not this stuff they sell for like laundry detergent? Or
There you go. Yep. Yes, sir.
It cleans up the gold nice. But they put it in like a type of bone antler or bone whatever.
you already were told it's called a crucible. It's not a bone.
It's called a Cupel. It's called a Cupel faggot.
Oh wow!
I just no. Maybe you
What's a
should know.
Cupel
Since you're in a
faggot?
fucking gold mine, you asshole.
Oh, okay. Someone didn't have their copy.
What's a
I have my
Cupel
coffee.
faggot?
No, I have my
I think
coffee.
that's just
why I'm
anytime
able
you
to
use a French word, you have
absorb
to
fucking
tag that on
words
at
like
the end.
Cupel, asshole.
Get
Okay.
this party started.
I have melted down my own gold and silver and stuff, and I wanted to take what I took out of the ground, what I sluiced out of the river myself, and then make a ring out of it. I wasn't under the impression that you don't make rings out of 24 karat gold because it's so soft that it doesn't really hold its shape, but I don't give a fuck. I didn't care. So I made my own crucible, my own molds out of just carving out rock, stone, granite is what I think I used. Might be. Yeah, it's granite. It's definitely granite. And just used my own crucible
faggot
to melt it and then pour it into the thing. And I had to use borax in order to separate the slag away from the gold. As far as the impurities, I needed that borax to make it bubble up, but the alum to make it separate up into the bubbles, and I could slide it off.
Wait, so you made a split? You made a split mold for a ring out of granite?
Yeah, just carved it. Just carved the ring, and then you pour the gold into that ring, and it solidifies and cools down, and then you knock it out of there, and then you just shape it up the best you can. It's not great.
I mean, well, I'm curious. How was the seal on it on the two halves? Like, did that work well, or?
No, not two halves, just a ring. I carved a circle, just in a circle down into the rock, just as you would, and then you pour it, and it pours into a 3-dimensional, like a ring.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
and then I carved it up. But the problem is I'd never done metallurgy before. I only went and got gold out of the river, so I didn't understand that you mix the gold, you make an alloy, you make a gold and tin or gold and copper to make to where it's 22 karat. You see what I mean? To where it's a firmer gold, like a white gold, and
Gotcha.
mine's 24 karat, so it doesn't hold its shape. You can actually bend it with your fingers, just moving it around so it doesn't hold its shape. But I still made my own ring.
Neat.
It was fun. It was fun. But that's where I got
You
the
know that if
whole
you
idea.
had a gold skillet, you could cook your steak 3 times faster.
No,
I
from
just I watched a
induction.
video. Yeah, I watched a video. This guy took like $1 million worth of gold. It was like 3 solid gold bars. Put it on top of his stove top and heated it up, and then he threw a steak on top of it, and it cooked 3 times faster than what it would normally cook on just the traditional pan.
Oh, the char he could have got on some pizza with that, man. Oh,
Well, it's just the fact that gold conducts like way faster than a lot of other metals. Um, but it was pretty neat to watch, dude. Like he fucking literally cooked this thing so fast.
Well, it kind of makes sense because that's what they use inside of electronics to make the connections between any IC or any connection to even speakers better. Gold. If you got it gold plated or a solid gold connection, it's way faster and less latency than anything else besides light. I mean, of course.
I mean, we could literally make a fast food steakhouse, dude. We had gold pans.
I don't have that much gold.
Yo, Dice Load, you see what I posted on Bitcoin?
I know it. I know it dropped. I know a lot of people are selling their positions into gold, which is what I mentioned this morning. And what I was trying to say in regards to that is everybody's trying to chase the top throughout all these different assets, and it always seems like they're a day late and a dollar short. And in doing that, like they're really gonna lose their asses, man. All these people trying to chase all these different assets as they bubble up, are just gonna lose, dude. What'd you send though? Let me see it.
It's in live stream text one day. They lost 28 billion.
How do you lose 28 billion? Oh, you're saying they lost 28 billion in Bitcoin?
Yeah.
You're saying like a single investor or something? I don't
Something about
understand.
deleveraging. I posted a video on it.
I'm not sure. Maybe maybe they had some like short sales or something in place, and
Well, what's the value of Bitcoin now? It must have went down, no? In the
yeah,
past week or so?
last I looked, it was like 88, dropped from like around 100 to 88.
That's quite a drop.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it was people just pulling out.
Also, a lot of banks are dumping the dollar. It's one of the reasons why gold is going up, I think.
I find it interesting that if there's for physical silver, there's 365 paper or digital orders of that silver that are being traded, and that is artificially keeping the price down still. And if everyone were to take those paper or digital assets and try to convert it into actual silver mint, they wouldn't be able to. And I think that it's exposing the dysfunction in the market with the fractional reserve banking and money printing, quantitative easing, and inflation. So everyone has a run on silver. It'll just collapse everything because they won't have enough silver to give them, and exposes the Ponzi scheme, all the fake paper silver they're using to press the price.
China, the other week, stopped exporting silver.
Oh, they took control of that market. That's crazy. Another thing that's happening to expose it. And silver is unique because it's used in all the electronics, like you guys are saying. It's a unique asset.
We got all sorts of contracts in place right now requiring vast amounts of silver, whether it's in the EV industry or even the military industry. There's like a whole new contract for these new fighter jets or whatever that take a lot of silver per jet. I mean, there's all sorts of things right now pushing silver into high demand.
And the BRICS nations, with Russia and China and Britain and India, they just, I can't remember exactly what the date was, but it couldn't be much more than a month ago or much less than a couple weeks ago that they went ahead and released their, I don't want to say their currency they're going to work with everything, but their international currency they're going to work in between each other is now backed by gold.
I mean, I think that's what Gaddafi was planning on doing, and so they took him out. They don't want any gold-backed banks or currencies. That's too powerful, and yeah.
Well, they want to control the manipulation of currencies, and they're freaking out right now because this whole crypto thing prevents that in a large way, which is why the whole Clarity Act kind of got stopped, because the banks weren't really trying to relinquish that power. And but yeah, we're like we're at the precipice of major transitions taking place right now in terms of finances and money and currency and these sorts of things, which is, obviously one of the main aspects to our reality. So
nothing's changed, Dicelo. Nothing's changed. In my
dollar
opinion,
is losing its
excuse me, ancient traveler. Nothing's changed. The robber barons are robbing. That's what's always happened throughout history. The crypto market is exactly doing what it's designed to do.
Everybody knows it's not going to change. So if you bought silver at $12 because you know nothing is going to change, you can take advantage of that. And it's also interesting to note how, like, India, Russia, China, they're starting to do more bilateral trading, and the U.S. dollar is losing its status as a Petro-Dollar, as a reserve currency. And that's also being demonstrated by the meteoric rise of silver right now.
I agree with Andy, though. It's by design. They're trying to get off the Petro-Dollar.
No, I don't think this is by design, in my opinion. I don't think this has ever happened in human history, what we're fixing to see right now.
Didn't Trump say?
I would agree with Andy, like, systematically, like, throughout the dawning of the ages, like, yeah, it's always been the case. But what's taking place now is a once in a humanity lifetime transition, and a lot of people are missing it. A lot of people just are waving their hand and going, this is just this, that, the other. Everybody's got a fucking opinion, but at the end of the day, the real risk, dude, is not being involved and not being aware and just doing what a lot of people are doing. I mean, position yourself, guys.
I have to agree with him. I think the change that we're about to see not so much exactly mirrors what happened in the difference between the world and way that we all act as a civilization from 2019 to 2020, because of the way that they implemented all of the rules of the COVID or the lockdown or whatever. I think that same exact amount of change, not the same change. It's not going to be a virus, but it'll be the way of life. Like he was talking about, all the monetary systems, all the way that we deal with everything is going to change that dramatic the same way it did in 2019 to 2020. I don't see any other way.
Yeah, well, like I've been saying, dude, this is the largest wealth transfer in human history to take place. What we're fixing to see right here coming up
Yeah,
very,
that's been
very
said a lot,
shortly.
nicely, though, right? Over the centuries.
What's that, Andy?
That's been said a lot over the centuries.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard that applied to any other time period.
Like David Icke said it, I think, when he was talking about the bank transfers and all that.
I know, dude. This has been planned for over 300 years, I saw.
Well, you're talking about some Jubilees thing. Like this isn't that though, bro. Like that is involved in it, yes, but what I'm talking about is way larger than that.
And it's at the scale and time scale of unlike anything we've seen before. So when the falls of the centuries or the civilizations of before, whether it be the monetary system or just the ruling system, whether it be Babylon, Rome, or let's say France, with their monetary system, when it fell, it took years for them to fall in Rome. It didn't just fall overnight. When it was in France, it took weeks or months for it to happen. When it transferred from I guess from the Europeans to the Americans, it took weeks for all that to happen with the ending of the war, and then we were instilled into being the standard drawing rights from the end of, I guess it'd be 1913. But when this happens, it's going to happen in days, in minutes, as far as when we know everybody's going to have their eyes open and know it so much quicker.
If you study the occult, right, and the full phoenix symbolism, right, out of the ashes is going to come this new world order, right? So out of the fall of America, which they're organizing and orchestrating its collapse, right? First, they need to create a dilemma so great that the world will have to choose this universal currency to be able to transition, right, without mass starvation, mass famine. This is by design, dude. From the ashes of the fallen old world is going to rise the new world.
Yo, Die Slut. Is he still in? Yeah, he's still in here. Have you ever heard of that degenerate dude named Mickey Mace?
What's the name?
Mickey Mace. That dude that looks like a fucking cartoon character, got tattoos all over his face. He's a
Oh
degenerate
yeah,
gambling
I worked
kid.
on his house. Yeah, I worked on one of his houses.
Do you know his like business model that he has set up right now that he's doing online?
The sports gambling?
Yeah, dude, you should do like a similar thing. I feel like you might be successful at it, right? Because you've got like he does, which is the inside scoop and the like understanding of the way that that system works as far as on the crypto goes. And all he's doing is utilizing that same step above on the knowledge of other people. And he's offering his, like, he basically says, look, I'm going to use you because I can't go inside the casinos. So I'm going to give you the blueprint and teach you how to gamble. And then when there's winnings, we're going to split it. You know, I get my cut, you get your cut. But if there's losses, you don't take any loss at all. The loss is all on my end. And I feel like you might be successful on that, dude. Start a little platform and kind of teach people how to get into crypto and like show
that's
them.
what the government. That's what the government did, right? It's called with the banks. It's called the Glass-Steagall Act. Look into it, dude.
That's what.
This is what allowed fractional reserve lending.
What is it called? The Glass what?
Glass-Steagall Act.
Google. And check that out.
Yeah, look into it. A lot of people don't know about that.
Man, you never know.
But yeah, I went to one of his houses off of Laurel Canyon over here.
Every time there's economic turmoil, they always use gold and silver to transition. But eventually they always go to fiat, bro. Gold just used to transition between collapses historically.
That's women.
Yeah, but if you go to certain Chinese spots, dude, and you order like a combo platter, combination platter, bro, it's still like $9, dude.
Go
Arizona
get a
iced
pizza.
tea is still 99 cents, baby.
Go get a pizza anywhere. It doesn't matter what restaurant you go to and see what the difference is from what it was 5 years ago. It's insane.
Like a combination platter is still like $10, dude. It's been $10 since I was a kid.
What about the $5 footlong? Gone.
Yeah, that's definitely
I'm sure
gone.
the billions spent for war has nothing to do with that, right? More wars. Yeah.
Who's buying takeaways? Make your own fucking food, you lazy cunts.
I know, dude. I started growing. I'm going to vegetables also. I'm cutting back on growing cannabis and starting to grow more vegetables. Do more long-term sustainable.
I don't get that pork fried rice, though. I get the chicken fried rice.
Stay away from chicken, bro. Chicken's very sus right now.
Yeah, you heard about Campbell's Food. They're printing it, putting it in their cans now. The chicken meat. It's all lab printed. It's not real. It's not chicken.
Yeah, that was out of the CEO's mouth directly.
Directly. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't eat that shit anyways, Campbell's. And I rarely eat out, takeout, but
Yeah,
I
that
love
just
Thai
goes.
food.
I think anything is whether you're not even takeout, but like the pink slime, some of the vegetables that you're getting. Some people are claiming that they're rubbery or they're not. Some parts of the whatever bananas aren't exactly right. You can see that in fast food, many of the hamburgers, many of the chickens that we get, whether it be canned or in Chinese food, it's not real or it's not full. They have filler, sawdust, they have soy, and they're telling you that it's meat.
Well, I don't got the money to be eating out like that, dude. That's like people who eat out every day. It's because they're fortunate. But when I do eat out once a week or whatever it is, I try to be wise with what I eat, and I try to stay away from seed oils, dude. But I'm not trying to live forever either, dude. Like I heard somebody the other day say, dude, we're not gonna live forever, dude. So you gotta balance quality of life with pleasure.
Exactly. Lion says he eats dick burritos for breakfast.
Like I'll still drink a Coca-Cola, dude. I don't care. Whatever it is.
Well,
I look at it like this. There was the story in the Bible of this people, right? This king and his people and his army. And there was God's people that were like these slaves that were captive, right? I'm just shooting y'all the layman's. And they were feeding these captive slaves like fucking scraps. And the people of the land were getting all the best of the best, all the good, wagyu. And but they were still like visibly healthier, these slaves. And they were cocky, like, what's up, bro? Like, we'll go up against your strongest people. You could feed me scraps for like a year and feed them your best crops for a year, and then let's go toe to toe and throw down, and I'll smash your man. And sure enough, they were fed the scraps, and they were healthier and stronger, and ended up knocking out the other, opposing people. So the moral of the story is that it really doesn't matter, what you eat. If you're blessed and chosen, your body's going to function and do what it does. No worries,
I
my friend.
kind of disagree with that. Sorry, I mean, modern bread is so fucking bad for you.
There's some truth to mind over matter, for sure.
I think it's fair to say in Jesus' time, when was it Jesus or one in the Bible, it says something like, be more careful about what comes out of your mouth than what you put in it. And yeah, it's probably true then, but not now. Now it's fucking that bread is stay away from that fucking bread, guys.
And just think about fish. Just think about fish and well, even meat. There's a certain amount of microplastics that's starting to gather in all of us from what we're eating.
Yeah, we can't. The thing is, though, you can't do a great deal about certain things like that. I would say. I mean, you can like mitigate it. You can do saunas and stuff like that. I would recommend, but you can't really get away from that, can you?
I'm not sure if it was the Most High or the other guy, but you have to be able to live. You have to be able to have some pleasure. You can't.
If you don't smoke, you don't do drugs, no hard drugs. Look at Trump, dude. He eats McDonald's all the time, dude. It's his favorite, right? And the guy's, dude, he's old, dude. Like, how much longer do you want to live? You want to live to 120? You have to.
Well, it's a big sodium hit, really.
You don't do drugs, no hard drugs. Look at Trump, dude. He eats McDonald's all the time, dude. It's his favorite, right? And the guy's, dude, he's old, dude. Like, how much longer do you want to live? You want to live to 120? You happy with 100?
It's a big sodium hit, really. It's not good for your circulatory. Your ankles will be swollen, though.
You want the sodium. You need the sodium, dude. You want the salt. Anytime you have any issues, no matter what it is, you got any shock to your body, you got shot, you got a heart attack, anything, the very first thing paramedics are going to do is flood your system with saline solution. And it's going to regulate your heartbeat. Don't buy the bullshit.
Yeah, and exactly. And the borax on that package standing, when swallowed, that is not standing called the poison control. What was standing is drink lots of water. But on the toothpaste is standing called the poison control. That borax, that cleans all the metal nanoparticles out of your body. It's like it's a kind of clay. It sucks in all the bad material and transports it out of your body.
All you need is
the borax on that package standing, when swallowed, called the poison. That is not standing called the poison control. What was standing is drink lots of water. But on the toothpaste is standing called the poison patrol. That borax, that cleans all the metal nanoparticles out of your body. It's like it's a kind of clay. It sucks in all the bad material and transports it out of your body.
all you need is to save your sibling.
Europeans were the ones that abolished it. The Spanish were the first ones to abolish it.
No, we were talking about one world order. I think is when I brought that up. I said that it's the West, the colonial system, starting with Portugal, Spain, the Dutch, the English, the French. Maybe that you're referring to that when I brought that up.
I don't know, but Spain abolished slavery, dude.
Yeah, okay, but we weren't talking about that particular thing when I brought that up. We were talking about one world order, I believe.
Just letting you know, just for the record, that Africans were enslaving themselves. The Moors, the Muslims were enslaving themselves. The Spanish, the Europeans were the first ones to actually make a stand and abolish slavery, dude. While the Africans were still enslaving themselves, dude.
I don't disagree with that.
All right, cool. That's all. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That was a truth bomb.
That was a truth bomb, and the slavery is still happening right now in Africa. So, I mean, you can buy
what
a
does
slave
more
in,
damage? What does more damage? A truth bomb or a missile?
Good point. Yeah.
I think a bomb.
There's still slave trade going on in Somalia to this day, right now.
You guys know what a college is? Fucking slaves everywhere, dude. Get out of here.
Good thing you got unmuted, bro. That's a great point.
Yeah, I kind of see why you were muted. Yeah.
It was muted because Dyson
Well,
got
we
called
are,
out.
though.
You couldn't handle
Again,
it.
open with a knock knock check next time. Yeah.
And with input like that, you should just keep yourself muted.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
So where were
A
we? Let's get
missile.
back to the subject.
Missile
Where
who?
were we?
You said that America
Just regular missile.
and NATO, right? Or was it NATO or America and who else? That it's our
What were
fault.
we talking about before you came in, Lion? I forget what we were
You guys
talking about.
you were saying that America is the demon, is the devil, and it's all our fault.
Yeah, specifically, you talk about the wars that America has perpetuated or whatever, but there's a lot of other countries participating, you know, that you just kind of wave off and just.
But
so we just made all these countries go to war just because.
like in
No, you were convinced that. Go ahead, Snacks.
like the kind of planes we were fighting in Vietnam weren't Vietnamese planes. Whose planes were they?
Freaking.
Well, there was a lot of
off,
Russian involvement. That was a fight between the
They were all
communists
MiGs.
and our system.
Did my point come across though? Did you guys get my point?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was trying to add to it, but that didn't work.
Yeah,
You
No,
can restate it.
I got kicked out.
Maybe you try a knock
I just
knock
didn't
joke.
hear whatever the hell. I just got back, so I apologize. Go ahead.
You brought up all the NATO nations, and it wasn't just America, but France and Germany. Poland.
Yeah, but the shock and awe, the majority of the stuff that was American, and America was the one that started this. And because
What
of
about all the
design, it's
other
because
countries?
of. I'm
Just
not finished talking, bro.
they just let it all
I'm
happen.
not finished talking, bro. You can go next if you want, but like, show some respect, man. So the war was started because Netanyahu came to your House of Representatives, and you guys started all this, and of course the NATO members pitched in and helped.
Essie, who's your biggest gripe with?
Before he answers, it's got to be the most cringe thing to say "you guys" as if any of us in here had a fucking say in that shit.
Let's not
Just
go
saying.
over that. We're
Yeah.
talking about
It's
the
just
American
retarded.
government. When I say
That's
you,
like low IQ. Dude, you said
Yeah.
to Fresh, like, oh, you're preparing to attack Iran or some shit like that.
yeah, let me
Like-
make a
like Fresh
disclaimer.
is,
I
like,
have to do
preparing
it
in his
every time.
garage,
I'm
like he's
not
about to
talking
fly over
about.
to Iran.
Fresh has got a war room.
Let me make a disclaimer, which I have to do every time. When I say you guys, I mean the government, not the people. Clear on that?
Oh,
Well,
Fresh
you
literally
guys just
told
ate the
you,
government.
dude. Fresh did a whole rant. He's like, oh, we're not gonna go fight any wars, but if people invade us, we're just gonna, defend our place. And you said right after that, you're like, no, you guys are going to attack Iran. Like you said that to him, like he's going to do it. Like it's him, dude. Like he's preparing.
Like he
No,
personally
I don't mean him, bro. I don't
Okay,
mean the
don't
people.
say that then. You keep saying that. You keep
All right,
saying
well,
like
who's
you
your biggest
guys.
gripe with?
Yeah.
I
but it's
just
not
made a
just the United
disclaimer.
States.
Are we clear on it? Whenever I say that, I could misspeak sometimes. Let me say it again for the 100th time. I never mean the American people when I say you guys. Is that clear?
Okay, but if
If you're going to
someone
be a
says,
moderator
Why
in a
not?
verbal
Why not?
forum,
If I
you
could
should probably
respond,
figure out
if
the
I could
correct
just
verbiage
respond
to
to
say.
him, why
if
not
someone
just
says,
simply
I'm
say
not gonna
what you
do
mean
that,
then, Montreal, instead of just saying, well, I'm going to say this and it actually means this. Why don't you just say the American government is planning on doing this then? In the
Everyone's
Well,
future?
look, I
turning on you,
apologize.
Essie.
Sometimes I misspeak. I mean, I'm not perfect, but for the record, when I say you guys, I mean the government. So if
we
I
know.
misspoke,
Essie,
I
we know that.
apologize. My
We know
bad.
it's bad. We know the government's corrupt. All right.
Okay, so that's
Who
your
is your
answer.
biggest
Instead of talking
gripe?
about what is actually happening, you're gonna try to
No.
get
Essie,
some.
answer the damn question. Stop
Well,
tiptoeing.
but it's like it's the United States that's going to do the Iran thing, but it's also in cahoots with the British, who are flying like refueling tankers and moving supplies and stuff, and Israelis with their American provided armaments.
Yeah, of
So
course.
it's a three-way at least
It's
situation. I'm
just
pretty sure
like
there's other countries pitching in too, possibly. It's a humanitarian problem. Like three Americans get like taken out trying to do protest. They got like 40,000 people allegedly no
Could you
longer in
be
action.
any more jittery?
Huh? Was I general there? I'm sorry. Okay.
See, are you ready to answer the question?
What question is that?
Wasn't the one who asked it.
the question is, who's your biggest gripe with?
What do you mean? Be more specific. What gripe?
I don't know. You're talking about the American government and like wars and stuff, and yeah.
Those are different subjects. Which subject do you want me to comment on? Like what gripe? I don't have a gripe. We just talk about
You don't
reality.
have a gripe.
What are you most irritated with?
People like you. People like you that come in and talk about absolutely. I'll tell you. People like you that come in and just do what you're doing right now.